We just got our blood work done.
Yeah, we did.
And our doctors asked us, what are we doing to have such great blood work?
Yeah. And you know what we told them?
ProCare!
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we told them like, yeah, we take ProCare every day because they have a multivitamin that you can just take one a day.
Yes, exactly. They have a capsule and a chewable form. And not only do they have vitamins, but they also have calcium chews.
Oh my God, they're so good.
They're so delicious. It's like our own little sweet treat for the end of the night.
It really is because they have the dark chocolate and they have the cinnamon roll.
Yes, and I love the salted caramel and the dinner mint.
Alrighty, we'll go to procarenow.com
and use code OSLP at checkout to save some money. You guys ask us all the time, what is our favorite protein powder?
Yeah, literally, we see this question every day.
And the answer is always
Devotion! Yeah. Oh my goodness. I even used it this morning to make my own sweet treat for nighttime because it's just a brownie batter pudding. And you literally just use 1 scoop and then milk or water.
And then I use it every morning in my coffee. It's so delicious. Oh my God. I want one right now thinking of it.
Seriously, it's 20 grams of protein. So go get yours now at devotionnutrition.com.
And use code OSLP to save some money.
Welcome back, OSLP family! Welcome.
You are listening to our Sleeve Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
I don't know why I said my name like that.
I know.
I don't know what happened there.
You're like a cartoon character over there.
I know. It's Kelly. I don't know. So just bear with me because we're in funky moods today.
So good.
We always like to start the episode with reminding you that we do have a Patreon.
Yes.
It is patreon.com/OSLP. And there's so many amazing things over there.
Yeah.
Mel gives me crap about the fact that I use the word amazing all the time. And I don't really care because it is amazing.
I didn't even think about it this time.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, it didn't even pass through.
Oh, good.
So don't you worry about that, girl.
So go over there, check it out. There's exclusive videos that we do that are just for patrons. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with weight loss surgery. Sometimes it does because obviously it's our whole life.
Yep.
But we like to give you an insider's view of what our normal day-to-day
who we really are.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes.
Fun things that we do.
Goofy shit.
Yeah. Like we both took trips to Redmond a week apart.
Yep.
It was really weird. So we talked about that. Mm-hmm. Our travel day from hell, they got all of that before anybody else.
They did. And what's cool is tomorrow we get to meet with them. So like if you're a $5 tier or higher, mm-hmm. then you get to hang out with us once a month on Zoom.
That is correct.
And so we're hanging out with our patrons tomorrow.
Yeah. And we always have a certain topic that we cover mm-hmm. every month. So like tomorrow's is going to be self-sabotage and how to stop that. So it's really kind of cool because you get a bunch of different views on the subject.
Yeah.
And then also we have the world's best support group.
Yeah, the Benchies.
The Benchies. And we love them so much. We are on there all the time. Mm-hmm. We really talk about them quite often.
We do.
In our daily lives.
I know. By name. So what's funny is like our families know these people too. Yeah. I'm like, well, Tanya did this and like Ashley did this.
Yes.
Oh, Jeremy's doing this. So say hi to all of you that are out there.
And we do meetups with our Benchies mm-hmm. and it's really fun. It's a fun time.
It really is.
And you get lots of support and you can just pretty much post whatever you want in the group as long as it is
just not disrespectful.
Not disrespectful or hateful.
That's right.
That's the only thing we ask.
Yeah. And then if you want to watch this episode, you need to go to YouTube. YouTube. It's in your Google app section. If you just click... It comes with your phone. Click on it, type in our Sleep Life podcast and click the, subscribe and hit the bell because you get these every Tuesday. There is a new episode and it's a lot of fun because you get to see our faces and all the random shit that we do.
Yeah, because half the time I'll be listening so intently. I'm just like nodding and I'm like, oh yeah, they can't hear that.
I know, you're like, I need to talk.
So if you hear a space, that's probably where I'm just nodding and listening intently. So
that's true story.
But if you want to watch it earlier than YouTube, also go over to Patreon.
That's right.
Because they get it 10 days early.
They do. And like for this episode, we actually have 2 girls
Yeah.
that have also started a podcast and they're a few years apart and this is freaking cool. So we get to talk to you.
It's like us a few years ago.
I know. It's like looking into a mirror.
So welcome Joelle and Hailey from the Bariatric Bodcast.
That's right.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you for having us. This is like an honor. I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, we're so excited because you guys both have had surgery. You have I love getting different points of view on how different the journey is for everybody.
Yes. It's so important. And will you guys introduce yourself so people know what they're hearing to the name?
The voice to the name.
The voice to the name. Thank you. Voice to the name.
Yes. My name is Hailey Sutton. I am about 3.5 years post-op. My surgery date was October 16, 2018. And my total weight loss is 120 pounds.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
exciting.
She's incredible.
It's hard to lose that much and keep it off.
Yeah, girl, you're in year 3. I know the pain.
It's a constant battle every single day, but you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right.
I'm way better off where I am now than where I was. So
Yeah.
just gonna keep going.
Right. I told my mom today, I was like, I didn't come this far to only come this far.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'm like, even if, because everybody knows I'm dealing with regain. It's fucking stupid. I hate it. But I wish that if like we lost it, it just went away.
And just
like,
never came back.
You know, go home fast. But
You'll
it
never
comes,
find it
comes
again.
back. Yeah.
Right.
No,
but it
it's
always
just,
comes back.
like,
It
stay
finds
lost.
you.
Stay
Well, and
lost.
I, obviously I was not doing everything I was supposed to. And so it's like a no duh type thing. Like it's my own damn fault why I did regain. But I've also like stepped up my life this week and I'm back in the gym and I'm doing the things that I need to be doing to continue on my goals. And that was a whole conversation I had with my mom. So it's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's amazing. And the fact that you can take control again and just turn it right around. It's your one, choice away from turning your whole story around all over again.
Exactly.
So you're doing everything right.
Aww,
yeah. And
you
you have a story, you know what I mean? Like you've gone through so much, just like listening to you guys and the things that you have overcome and conquered. I mean, you have a new chance every day.
Exactly. You wake up and you make a choice whether you're going to be on plan or not on plan. And
right. And it's not like if I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it. It's like, this is a thing where like, oh yeah, like I can just start tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a few days from now or like months from now, like that was like the old mentality was always like
Monday.
That diet culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start on Monday.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to start it on Monday. No worries. Everything's got like the stars have to align perfectly for me to start. And it's like, nah, bitch.
It's not
like,
bitch. It doesn't need to.
No. you can start now. So I was actually just yelling at Melanie upstairs because I was like, that sounds like an excuse.
And she was saying that. She's kind of being a beezy because I was like, no, bitch, you just did this. Like you just got to this point where now you're finally mentally there, but you have to be mentally there. That's what I was explaining to her. It was like, I'm in that middle, like, I don't know, like housewarming area where it's like, okay, I'm almost all the way like in, but my brain has to catch up. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like
that's what she said.
Yeah.
Like you have to be mentally ready. And like, I'm like, I can feel myself be there, but it's like, I'm just not there yet. So, and then she's been there and I've been very supportive why she just wasn't fucking doing her shit for 1.5 years. And I was very nicely
You
and kind.
have been, but I also.
But now that she goes for 2 days, she's like, fuck you, get in the gym. I was like, fuck your face.
Hey, I also signed up for training today.
I know.
I'm very excited. I'm doing it
Look at
all.
you.
I don't really care.
No, I'm happy. I'm proud of you. How many times I told you I was proud of you the last 2 days?
I appreciate
Just
all
letting
of
you
those
know.
things. But I'm also would not be a good co-host or bestie if I didn't give you shit about it.
That's true. Give me shit all you want.
So I'm just putting that out there.
You support both. I always like, what friend do you want me to be today? Do you want me to be like the enabling friend or do you want me to be like the tell you like how
like it is. Like it is friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've always
Which
been
one do you
telling
want
like
today?
it is friend.
Yeah. We're a tell it like it is because I would prefer honesty over anything.
Yeah. Honesty and transparency is like fucking key.
Yeah. Because if I'm
100%.
fucking up, like I want to know.
Yeah.
I want somebody to look at me and be like, get your ass in the gym and start eating right.
Yeah.
Because you are not.
Do you ever think about that? Like how nobody told us, you know, pre-op, like they were like, oh, we never saw you. Like, I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you didn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you loved me the way I was and great. That's great. But you didn't say like, hey, I love you, but I'm kind of concerned about this. Like we need to like reel it in. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yeah,
like you need friends that'll tell you.
Even
like,
with
hey,
her,
I love you.
like because she's the one thing that people have to realize, like, too, you have to really mean it, because Kelly really does mean that. Like, I've learned over the 22 years of like being her friend, like she really is okay with you telling her like, hey, you're fucking up. And she takes it in stride very nicely, and she's not an asshole at all. And that's what's like hard, is that some people are just like, they say that they want that, but they really don't want that.
They hardly ever mean it.
And they're fucking dickholes to you because you finally said something, but really they're mad at themselves. But it's like, I'm like, oh no, Kelly really means this. So it's like, I have to remind myself, like, oh no, Kelly's not BSing. Like, if it was like some other friend, I'd be like, no, they do not want that.
No, but I want, like, nobody told me how big I got.
No.
Like it, and you know, you have those blinders on when you're gaining weight and you're like, oh, it's just, you know, the clothes just came out of the dryer, or
Oh my God, yes.
This sizing is way
it's water
off.
weight. It's water weight.
It's water weight.
I ate a lot of salt yesterday.
Yeah, and it's like no.
You've actually had too much food.
Yeah,
and you're not moving.
You gained 80 pounds in a year. That's a problem.
Yes.
So the only person that told me was my rheumatologist.
Yeah,
she was like very like, you know, we need to talk about this because this is not healthy.
I know this is like super squirrel, but not squirrel. Where I actually would, every time I would hang out with you, I would notice, and I would come home and tell Eric that I was concerned.
Say it to my face,
I know,
motherfucker.
I know. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a hard spot.
It's a hard spot.
It is.
Because when you notice, you're like,
I don't want to upset you. I love you, but
and some people are truly okay with the gaining of weight. Like some people, are just like, this is my body. This is me. I'm good. Like my other best friend, she's totally fine. She's plus size. She's been plus size her whole life. She's totally fine with where she's at. And so I don't push that because I'm like, I know she's good. There's other friends that I've noticed have gained a lot of weight, and I've kind of slowly broached the subject with them because I'm like, I just want you to know that this is an option for you. Like, I'm not pushing it on you. I'm not saying you need to do it, but hey, if you're feeling like you need something, like this is always here.
Like we can get you help.
Yeah,
like, that's the one thing about
you help. Yeah, for real.
Like legit. Like the one thing about us, like you guys, anybody can message us and we'll find you help. Like we will find that resource. Like we will go on a Google rampage and texting all the doctors we know, because we actually know doctors now.
We actually do. Dr. Dovek.
We have phone numbers.
We have phone numbers. We have cell phone numbers. So I'm like,
it's really weird.
It's like, hey, what about this?
Yeah. I actually have gotten my mom to actually agree to go to a consult with my surgeon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
I would love to do that for my mom.
Right. Yeah.
But she is like terrified. Like,
my mom is too.
It's a whole nother thing, but
it's a thing.
I feel you on that.
This won't be a spoiler. So we talked to Dr. Eric from 1,000 Pound Sisters. He's the surgeon.
You don't even need to explain. I love.
He's so great. Like it was
so adorable.
Such an amazing conversation, and he has so much insight and love for our community that is just,
you could feel it through the screen.
You
could.
That was
interesting.
Yeah,
because you can tell
great.
That man cares.
Yes,
and he's fucking smart.
Yes,
like that was the deal.
He has the patience of a saint. I'll say that because like, I know we've all been in the same boat and struggled with our weight. Clearly. I mean, we wouldn't be here, but it's like at a certain point, you're like, you have to you have to hold up your end of the bargain essentially. And like the patience he's got with not only the sisters, but I'm sure hundreds of other patients. It's just like, that takes a very special person with a special heart to be able to like empathize that continuously.
Definitely.
Well, and he explained that on the podcast too, because he said basically what it is for him. It's like, he's like, I'm always here. So the surgery and me being a surgeon will always be here. Let's get you mentally and physically ready to be here with me. And so like, that's why he's like, why are we putting a time on this? Like, we don't need to put a time on it. He's like, I will always be here, like doing surgeries because that's what I want to do. So don't worry. And I'm like, that's a calming like sense, because then like as a patient, you can be like, okay, like we'll do this my pace.
Exactly.
That anxiety like slowly lowers. Cause she's like, okay.
Like even if it takes me a year, it takes me a year and we're still going to be okay.
And we still get to do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So he actually gave us a really cool statistic.
Yeah.
That if you lose your weight only through diet and exercise, it is a 1% chance that you will keep it off.
1%.
If you lose it with surgery and diet and exercise, it is a 50% chance
to keep it off.
Oh, that's so heartwarming.
Right?
That's incredible.
Right?
That gives people hope.
Yeah, we're going to advertise the shit out of that because people don't know that.
That's insane.
I've never heard it. Yeah.
And what you're hearing and who you're hearing right now is Joelle.
Yes.
Let's introduce
Joelle. She's there too.
Yes.
I'm here.
So introduce yourself a little bit.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Joelle Hilton. I am about 10 months post-op. I'm coming up on that 1 year mark this April. I actually just had like my quote unquote like 9 month checkup in today. So I got to see my surgeon today, which was really cool. And I am down 75 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and he is like, he told me he's proud of me. So I was like on that high today that like, okay, like I did it, I did it. I did something right. And I just am so happy with the decision to do this. It changed my life, in so many areas. It became so much more than just losing weight. And I'm just, I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be part of the community. And I just thank you.
Aww. I love that. I love it. And now, Joelle, you're shorter, right?
Yes, I'm a little 5-footer.
Okay.
You're 5 foot.
I was like, I thought I remember you saying you were short. So that's 75
and I look even shorter now.
Oh, yeah. So that 75 pounds is huge on your frame because you are so much shorter.
Yes. So my highest weight was 207.6 documented.
Okay.
And I know that just from I was my heaviest after I had my son. I have an 8-year-old, almost 8-year-old, but I was my heaviest after him. And I remember stepping on the scale one day and it said 236. Okay. And I was like, okay. I was like, this is a problem. I have always struggled with my weight. I've always was, an obese child. I always had, I struggled my whole life.
Yeah.
And, with the 207, people don't think like 207 is like heavy, but it is, you know what I mean?
On your frame, it totally is.
Like people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where it's like the BMI is kind of like crap, but then it's also like, it gives people, a view of like, no, that's really bad on your frame because you're going by your height and then your weight and you're being like, ooh, yeah, that's a little high for where I'm at height wise.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I barely qualified.
Oh, wow.
For the surgery. I barely qualified. So I had actually started the process like back in October of 2020. It was like, actually, I think it was November. And I remember going in and I had just done like a starvation diet. So I had just lost a bunch of weight, but it was never taking the weight off. It was keeping it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like you just said, that statistic, like I could get it off, but keeping it,
maintaining
diet,
it.
And you're like, oh, as soon as I'm done with my diet, I'm going to go, crazy and I'm going to go wild and blah, blah, blah. And, but yeah, so I forgot what I was going to say. I don't want to come in a little wide. I barely qualified. There we go.
Yes, there we go.
Yes. Brain work. So yeah, and I barely qualified. And the surgeon had actually sent out a thing saying that he didn't think I was going to be a good candidate for the surgery. And this was like in December. And I just remember being like distraught. And then I had done follow-up appointment because I had my heart set on it at this point. I was like, this is going to really help me. This is really going to help me. This is, it's not just a diet, it's a lifestyle. Well, the whole thing. And, I just remember when I got this phone call that, they didn't think that I was going to be a candidate, and it changed obviously, but I had to do some work to get there. But
what was your why of doing it?
So I had a couple really big ones, but my really, really big one is I wanted to find my purpose in life. Other than being a wife and a mom, just as a person, as an individual, because my weight for my whole life, it was always in the forefront of my brain. It was always right there. And I was like, when I lose the weight, if I lose the weight, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. When if it happens, then I'm going to feel so much better. I'm going to be so much happier. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be more motivated. I'm going to do this. And I just knew that if I could lose that weight, and I was grateful at 20 pounds, grateful at 30 pounds, 40 pounds. You know what I mean? I was like, when I lose this, when you lose the weight, and this is probably the easiest way for me to explain it. When you lose this weight that you're always thinking about, it leaves so much room in your brain. It can be overwhelming at times for so many other things. Like, doing a podcast, I started my own creative business. Like I started crafting and like I started doing all these own things that like I never would have had the confidence to do before.
Right.
But losing the weight just really helped propel me because I'm like, okay, I'm capable. I did this. I can do this.
Well, the energy too. I mean? Like the energy's there. Cause that was like surprised the fuck out of me was the energy level was gnarly because like I've always been the type, like, don't worry about it. Mel's got it. It's going to be done. But like, it feels like tenfold. It's like, oh, I can do so much shit now because I feel good and I'm not tired afterwards. And I didn't realize I even had that capability. I was like, oh shit, this is interesting. Yeah. Like I can do 2 a days and work. Because I was like the first year or two, I was doing 2 a days and I worked a full-time job and I went to college and I took 4 credits. Like I was taking 4 classes. So I was like, I graduated, and that makes sense though, because like that energy level was gnarly in the beginning and I was studying and I was working out and I was eating right. It was like the perfect combination for me to be at school, to be honest. Like
your body's like, nuts. I love you.
You're like,
we're doing all the things.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I think that space that you're talking about, when you said it's not like it can be good, but it can be bad too. That mental health aspect comes like right into the front of your brain because you're not. And I was actually explaining this to my trainer today because I can't help but like give them the whole rundown of what we do. And so I'm telling him like
scream it from the rooftop.
Right. I was like, this isn't easy. And a lot of the times you're giving up these food items that's what helped you cope for a long time. Right. And for me, I am a food addict. I am a sugar addict, hands down. If there is sugar, he asked me today, he's like, well, what type? Like chocolate? And I'm like, if it has sugar,
I want it.
I want it. Like it does not matter what it is. I want it in my mouth. Yeah. That's what she said.
Because it's almost like, I don't care if like, because before one of the reasons why I didn't like to talk about it was because you can see the look on their face. Like, are you really? Or the whole like you can't be addicted to food. And it's like, wait a minute. Yes, you can.
You can.
Yes, you can. And just because you don't understand it, doesn't make it not real. Things are still real. Like 2 + 2 will always equal 4. Yep. Not if you just, I don't feel like it today. It equals 4. And guess what?
No matter what.
No matter fucking what. And guess what? Like I know that I have a food addict problem. Like that's my thing. That's my drug of choice apparently. And guess what? Like now that I understand it, we can fix it. And I'm just happy that your trainer was like asking more questions. So like he wasn't like,
well, at the beginning, I could see kind of like the not totally like
Was it clicking?
Yeah. Or it was more like he wasn't sure if it was like a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think he's come across many people that have had weight loss surgery.
Say he probably doesn't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh no. Okay, soapbox.
Let me fill you in.
And then at one point he stopped me and he's like, well, I want to talk to you about other things beyond what you do. And I was like, okay, I feel like you're telling me to shut up, and that's totally fine.
He's like, I'm here to train you. So
I hear about your podcast.
So guess what? Give me some fucking crunches and some push-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Hailey, did you suffer with any food addiction, mental health problems, any of that? Did that?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would say it was a food addiction, but I mentioned to Joelle the other day, it's sort of, it's not so much what the food is, it's me wanting to eat a ton of it. So I call it volume addiction. And I don't think that's a real term, but it just makes sense in my head.
It should be.
Hashtag.
Yep.
But it's so true. Like I've always liked vegetables. I've always liked healthy food and healthy protein choices, all of that. And it wasn't, again, a matter of like, hey, I want to sit on a couch and eat a bag of chips. I of course would love that too. But if you gave me a salad, I would be just as happy. And it was more just about eating. It was about the act of eating. And I guess I found a deep comfort in that. And with the mental health aspect though, the more I would eat, the more depressed I felt. And then the more depressed I felt, the more I would eat. So it was like this vicious cycle. And again, like Joelle was saying, you can get, 10 or 20, 30 pounds off, but then it's about keeping that off. And my struggle was just that the sheer amount I was able to eat. And like the restriction with the VSG surgery was like a godsend because that's what I needed. I had the capability to make good choices, but I needed someone to force me to stop when I was good. You know? And so that was my main thing with it.
That's interesting. I kind of relate to you.
I can relate to that
because it's like that food is there. And so it really doesn't matter what it is. Like, I would love for it to be sugar, but if it's, a big salad, I'm still going to eat it.
Yeah. Cause for me, Kelly's going to have a bunch of that's what she said moments here in a minute because it really,
right?
Okay. Warming up.
Because really it's the mouth pleasure. I really enjoy the juices.
Oh my God. Now you're just setting her up.
Because like, that's the deal is like, I like the sensation of it. Like that's.
We all can relate.
Right? You understand exactly what I'm saying without it being dirty.
Keep going. That instant gratification.
Yeah. And so like legit, like I'll be editing for the podcast and I just want to feel that feeling in my mouth. And so I'm just like, I just feel like, I need to have items. I know. But I know you guys can understand what I'm saying because that is a feeling. And that's the deal is like, I can understand like what I needed the restriction. I needed the permanent, like, fuck you. This is going to come up and you're going to be in pain. I'm like, that's the deal.
You needed to punish yourself. You needed to be a sadist for yourself.
I did. A masochist. Fuck your face. Look at her. Look at her go.
I mean, could you really? I mean, you said juices. It's coming up there. Like
the mouthfeel.
The mouth pleasure.
The mouth pleasure.
I'm sorry. That's even better.
I warned you.
I know. So just a huge blanket. That's what she said for Mel's whole statement.
All of that.
I'm sorry. I was listening.
But can you relate?
I can completely relate.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted whatever I could find. And that's what hit me right after Satan left was that I know. I actually said it that normal to the trainer today. And he was like, did you just call someone Satan? Is that their name? And I was like, in
my world,
it is his name because, I know that he's not Satan, but I can't fully prove it because I've never seen them in the same room. So that is his name. So, but I was saying like right after he left, that's what I wanted it didn't matter what it was. I mean, although cake did me totally dirty right after.
That's what she said.
Thank you. I was hoping you would. But it didn't matter what it was. Like I didn't care if it was, granola or cake or carrots or it didn't matter. I was filling that void of something missing.
Yep.
Right.
And so I can completely relate to that.
To the mouth pleasure part.
To the mouth pleasure. Yep. To the mouth pleasure.
To the mouth pleasure.
All right, well, let's normalize volume addiction. You heard it here first, guys.
Seriously. I think it's a thing, man.
I feel like it is. I feel like it should be a thing because not everybody that is overweight has a sugar addiction or a soda addiction or any of that thing. It could purely be that they are just eating in so much volume. That your body can't keep up.
Like my trigger foods is ranch, rice, and garlic bread, basically.
Pork chops.
And pork chops aren't, I mean, they're in volume. But they're not bad for you. So like that was kind of the deal. Like these are the three that like if I would eat in excess volumes and that would be a problem. Like in my head, I'm like, I can eat a loaf of bread. That's fine, right? Like I was just like
sit on the couch and just tear up some bread and just eat the whole thing.
I totally have done that, and that's not okay.
It's not okay.
And the worst thing about dressings is it's like a 2 tablespoon serving.
Yeah.
And it's like 200 calories for like 2 tablespoons.
Yes. It's annoying.
And you're just like,
I think for all of us to understand portions, they actually should have to serve you what a real serving is. Like, I need to see, what is really 2 serving, like 1 serving of ranch, and I want to see it in a goddamn packet so I can understand.
Well, I mean,
that's a lot easier to do.
Not only that, but in restaurants, because I think your
that's
view,
I work there.
Your view gets skewed because you're thinking, oh, well, that's a normal portion, right? And it's like, no. Like this is like, you need to be eating a fourth of this and taking the rest home. But because it's on that plate,
you think you need to eat it all.
You just continue to eat. And there's sometimes I'll be eating and I'm not even hungry. Like I'm stuffed and I'm still eating because it's sitting there.
Because it's in front of you.
Yeah. So I'll actually physically move the plate across the table. I did it at Pig in a Pancake on Sunday.
Smart.
Because I had already eaten my pancake and I was good.
Yeah, because like a lot of our parents and their parents, they all thought that like they won't feed us this if it's bad. Yeah. There was a lot of naive to it. So like, it was like, well, if the restaurant's giving me the size of a portion, then I guess that's what we eat. Like it was never like, we never thought for ourselves of being like, oh, this is a problem until we had diabetes and cancer and high blood pressure and heart disease happening in their 50s and 60s and realized, oh, that plate they gave me 1,000 times, probably shouldn't have had that.
Well, I mean, it goes back
we're so conditioned too. We're so conditioned to seeing those large portions. And I know me being newly post-op and I work in a restaurant and I see it every
How is that? I like to understand that a little bit.
Yeah, I will tell you guys here first. This is a secret. All right, but I'm going to tell you guys. I am working on a live series, tips for eating out as a bariatric patient from a server perspective.
That's exciting.
And I literally started working on it because obviously I had to make changes. I still eat, you guys might come at me. You probably won't, but I'm just saying I eat out 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
as a bariatric patient, but that's because I'm working in this environment. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to grab dinner, but
you can do it if you can do it right. Like that's still.
Yes. And that's what I want to show people is that it's really a lot easier than we realize. And we don't have to settle for the kids' portions.
Right.
Because that stuff is shit anyway. It's mac and cheese and hot dogs and grilled cheese. And I mean, not that there's anything wrong with those, like kids love it. That's great. We're adults. We want real food. There's ways to do it. And obviously been doing this where I work, I've been for almost 3 years.
Oh, awesome.
And, so they knew when I was coming back, I would go, hey, I'm probably going to be ordering some really weird stuff. And they actually said it to me the other day. They were like, Joelle, this is getting really weird.
That's awesome.
Oh, what did you order?
So what I did, I wanted, we sell fried pickles. Do you guys sell fried pickles?
Fried pickles.
Don't even talk about
it. Sometimes I don't even know, do you guys know what pizza logs are?
No.
Okay. So that's a Buffalo thing.
Is that like a
when
pizza
you guys
roll?
come here, I'm going to take you to wait, so it's pizza. So it's an egg roll and it's stuffed with cheese sauce and pepperoni and it's deep fried.
Oh, I'm down with that.
It's a pizza roll. Yeah.
Hell
so there
yes.
are just some appetizers that are here that I know that like people are like, what? But anyways, I wanted a fried pickle. So I had them give me some like spears of pickles because obviously for sandwiches, and I dabbed them dry, and then I had them take some Asiago cheese and I said, bake it till it's crispy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Bake it, and then I dipped it in ranch and it was like a fucking fried pickle and it hit the spot.
Yeah.
It was crispy. I have a picture. I can send it to you guys. It hit the spot. I made 3 pickles. I ate 1.5, you know, because I still
That's good.
I overcompensate sometimes because my brain is like, oh, hey, we want all this food. Like,
yep. It gets excited.
But
yep.
There are just so many things that you can do as a bariatric patient to eat out that can make it easier. And the biggest thing I just want people to know is you don't need to explain yourself.
No,
you really don't.
No,
you don't. And as a server, like if you get a server, like, you know, I like what I do, so I don't care. Like if you tell me you just want a French onion, I'm like, is that all? Yep. Okay. Whatever you want. Like, we're not going to care. If you find someone that cares or like looks at you funny, like that's their problem. That's not yours.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain yourself. So, but yeah, working in a restaurant, when I was doing my pre-op diet, it was really difficult.
Yeah.
Cause and it just happened to be like, it was my last 2 weeks of work. So he was throwing me on extra shifts. So I had extra money and, you know, cause I was taking time off. So I was working our doubles, which are like 12 to 9s. And I was, doing my 800 calorie pre-op diet, which was pretty much liquids and soft foods. And it was a struggle, but I was so mentally in it that I just would, every time I would look at the food, I would just be like, this got me in trouble in the first place. This got me in trouble in the first place. You aren't going to taste that good. And like, I'm eventually going to be able to have you again. I don't know when, but eventually, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like how I got through it.
It's good because you talk to yourself. Yeah. That's a new thing, I think, from the surgery is like all the pre stuff too. Like you actually start talking to yourself.
And I always talk to myself.
Telling but I mean, I did, but it wasn't for food. I never talked about that to myself.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very positive.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I had blinders on 100% when it came to food. Like I would talk to myself about like fights and whatever, like the news or whatever, but like, nope.
You like hype yourself up in your brain.
Yep. And just act like food isn't a problem.
You know?
Yeah. So speaking of restaurants, what's your favorite thing to order now that you're post-op?
So, okay, this is my absolute favorite thing to do, and it's my salad hack. Okay. And it's super weird. And again, and the guys at my restaurant, they know, like when I ring it in, they know, because I do all the modifications. Like you can modify stuff too. And that's what people don't realize. And it's like, you can modify things. You know what I mean? Anyways, so my salad hack, for example, we have like a Cobb salad at work and it has grilled chicken. And it's a big salad in general, just portion size. It's 6 ounces of chicken. It's 2 hard-boiled eggs. It's bacon, tomatoes, avocado, and crumbly blue cheese, right?
Oh, that's
on top of
delicious.
On top of lettuce, right? Really great protein base. If you really look at it, there's a lot of protein in there. And that's obviously what I'm prioritizing right now. So what I'll do is I will tell them, I'm not going to lie, I don't eat a ton of vegetables. I take a green supplement to kind of counteract that.
Same. Yeah, it's more meat.
Just because I prioritize protein so much. I'm like, if I'm going to eat, it's going to be protein.
Yep.
So I will tell them, I want just the salad toppings.
Yep.
Just give me the toppings. I say, give me the toppings, put it in a bowl. I don't care what it looks like. Put the dressing on the side and then I dip and I eat. And that's my salad. And then you don't have this giant bowl of lettuce and you're not picking around. You're not trying to pick your toppings.
They're all touching each other and it'll taste good. Oh my God. I'm totally going to do this.
Did you just say that?
I did.
Oh, Lord.
Well, because as she was talking, I was like, I do that where I'm like trying to grab them all and like have so then they're all touching and and I'll put it in my mouth.
And you can get a good mouthfeel of all the flavors.
Yes.
So I knew.
I actually did that.
That's awesome.
Did that. Yeah. When I was newly post-op, I wanted a salad, but I realized that I just wanted the toppings with the dressing.
Yeah.
And so I just, because my surgeon was adamant, don't eat greens too early because it can upset your stomach because it's very fibrous most of the time. And so I just didn't do the greens, and I would just legit make a bowl with the toppings. Yep. And I mean, it's not bad. It's like you said, it's all protein.
Right. And then like you can just mix in some of your dressing, but I don't like to, because then I don't like it to get soggy. So I just, and I eat a quarter of it anyway.
We call it swampy.
What I mean? So then
the swampy salad is what we call it.
The swampy salad.
That's what I call it. Sorry, swampy salad.
I like it.
So Hailey, what's your favorite restaurant food that you can get now?
Yeah, so I'm pretty far out post-op. I can eat, I can tolerate, I should say, can't eat whatever, but I can tolerate those things. I would agree with Joelle on the salad. However, that's one of the things I'm able to have a decent portion of lettuce and stuff like that. So that doesn't make me feel over full. So I'll usually order a salad with a piece of protein on it, but I also love shrimp, scallops, any sort of softer fish too, is something that I'm able to tolerate, which I really like. And plus, if you're going to go protein first, that's like a really low calorie, solid piece of protein.
Oh, it's so high in protein. It's insane.
It's really good for you.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm engaged now, but when I first got the surgery, I wasn't dating anyone. And
I want to know about that.
Yes, I'm happy to talk about it. But, but I will say, if you are a person that's self-conscious going out to eat and you're going on dates or just going out with your friends, you don't really feel like explaining it, which of course you don't have to. But if, like people ask questions, get something with mashed potatoes as the side. And if you want, you can kind of slide stuff under the potatoes. And so no one notices.
That's genius.
I've done that.
I'm just saying, and I'm not saying to like start this as like a, let's tap into a new eating disorder.
Yeah.
I'm saying it as like, hey, you don't feel like explaining yourself, but people are noticing. Just do this and no one notices. And then it's under there. They take the plate. They never know there's half a steak under there or whatever. So I'm just saying,
funny.
It's a hack.
When I did it, I like it. So you notice like after surgery when like certain foods feel tougher to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Can't do chicken breast. So because of that.
For a while, it was sadly steak. I fucking love steak, but I would chew it up, good. And something was happening to where like I knew, do not swallow this. Like it, like my body was like, don't you swallow this, and I would chew, and it'd still be like, don't do it. So I would literally just pull it out and I would stuff it under with the mashed potatoes. That's what I did.
Oh. Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So that's the time that I did it. Because I like the flavor of the freaking steak, but I couldn't swallow it. So I was like, no. So I would get all the flavor and whatever, all the non-tough parts, I guess, off. And then I would just, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I was very open about mine. I don't know about you guys. I know Joelle has been very open, but I don't know about you, Hailey. But I was very open about it, and I talked with it I will legit talk about it to anyone.
Your trainer had to tell you to shut the fuck up, basically.
Yeah. Oh, no, legit. I think he said that under his breath. Like,
he's like, shut the fuck
up. I want to talk to you, not about your podcast. No. So I was never concerned about anybody else's opinion of what was on my plate. But I also can understand and respect somebody who's like, this is mine.
Yep.
Because you don't always have to talk about whatever's going on in your life. No. And you know, if you've got a super judgmental, say, family that you just would rather just not even go there with them, totally understand it. And I feel like do what you have to do, because eating out is going to be a part of your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you are not just going to sit at home and eat for the rest of your life. There will always be a birthday dinner, a retirement dinner. There'll be a wedding, or, so just
you're going to have to learn.
Figure it out
slowly.
Figure it out
slowly.
Yeah.
So Hailey, I want to know all the things. So you had surgery, no partner, and then now you're about to get married.
Yes.
How did this all come about?
So he and I have known each other since we were 14, actually. We introduced our best friends to each other, who ended up dating for years. And we went to high school together, and he actually had quite a bit of weight to lose as well. And so when we sort of started talking the first go round, it was before either of us had started losing weight. And then we spent a couple years apart, kind of just personal growth years, and then came back together and both just kind of had our shit together, for lack of better terms. And just everything kind of fell into place when we learned to individually love ourselves, and also just learn to be okay alone first.
Yeah.
And then our lifestyles started to align. We were just both super motivated to get healthy. And he proposed on the 4th of July. And yeah. So we're getting married in September. So I'm really excited.
Congratulations.
That's so awesome.
So did he have the surgery too, or no?
No, he just changed his way of dieting. And as we know, men tend to have an easier time of dropping it quicker, I should say. I don't want to say it's easier to do.
It's so not fair.
Yeah, right.
It's not.
No, but it's the testosterone in their bodies. It's a chemical thing. So once I realized that, I was like, I'm not going to get mad anymore. They can't help it either. So.
Yeah, it's not their choice. So I bet it makes it easier though, having you go through the surgery. You are on a good path of eating well. So do you guys kind of support each other with the healthy eating, healthy habits?
Definitely. He basically, I don't want to like at all take credit, but I think my lifestyle change inspired his, or kind of triggered his.
Okay.
And so when we first started dating, he was over 300 pounds and he lost 170 pounds in a year and just completely transformed.
Shit.
Congratulations, dude.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Tell him we say congratulations, because that is hard to do in 1 year.
That's work, man.
Yeah. He just stuck with it. And like, I'm not saying it was easy, but it was just like, he was kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired, for lack of better terms. Like we all were and are. And it's just kind of like a snowball effect. Once we both started doing it together, it just kind of, it fell into place. And, I know his family was so excited about that change and everything. And it just makes it good, like a good foundation for moving forward into this next chapter of our relationship, because, down the line, if we have kids, it's just, we've already sort of begun to address our issues. So we both don't want to transfer our issues to future children.
Right. Yes. Better to get that mental game in order before the kids come.
Oh, absolutely. Were you like, was he part of your support system when you had surgery, or did he kind of come around like a year later after surgery? Like how did that process go?
Mel wants a whole complete timeline, please, if you could.
I am happy to give it to you. So I had surgery in October of 2018, and then we kind of reconnected in like March of 2019. So I was like 5 months.
Yeah, she was looking like a bed.
Yeah. I was feeling good. I was like, whatever, now you missed me.
Boss ass bitch. Yes. I love it. Yeah. I met my boyfriend, well, obviously after the divorce, but we started dating, I think it was 2 years after my surgery.
I think so.
So it was like, but he had weight loss surgery too. So it was kind of cool to be able to share the experience. So like you're saying, like you're sharing that like becoming healthy aspect. It's kind of nice to have a partner that completely understands.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
The mental
health
part.
Eating part, that's the hardest part of it.
Yeah. I would agree.
So,
did you go on any dates prior to meeting your husband or soon to be husband?
Yes. And I will say, well, the reason I'm saying it like that is because like prior to like losing any weight, I was too self-conscious to go out with anyone. I was just like felt bad about myself all the time. But then when I like got my shit together, I was like, damn, I look good. I can fit into these clothes I never wore. I can walk into a date confidently. So I would say I got all of that out of my system within like a 6-month period. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with like just Tinder dudes, but it was really fun. I'll say that.
Oh, I like it.
As long as you're having
living our best life.
Yeah. Because like that's kind of a freedom that you didn't have before.
Right.
So like, that's why I wanted to know, because I was like, is it just like, oh, you went right to him, or did you get to play? Like, I'm all about having fun and playing. So like, if you got to do that, that's great.
Yes, I did a little of both, but now I'm, he's a really wonderful person. So I got that out of my system, and now I'm like with a good guy.
That's great. That's great. How was your family with you going through the process? Like, were they helpful?
Yeah. So no one in my family has gotten the surgery. My mom was like terrified. Of course, her first thought is like, I can't lose you. Like something can't happen to you, which I'm not a mother yet, but I'm sure that's a natural feeling. And I would probably struggle with the same. But once I just express like, I have tried everything. I'm miserable. And like I've said to Joelle, I think last week, I just was so tired of like sitting on the sidelines of my own life and watching everyone else progress, move forward, whether that was dating or getting, you know, a better job or moving on with their life in any sort of capacity. I just felt like I was stagnant. And like the thing that was holding me there was my weight, because I was I lacked so much confidence to do anything or put myself out there. But, you know, with this surgery, it completely changed my life. And I actually, the other day I got a letter that I was accepted in a dietetic program at Meredith College in Raleigh. So I'm going to become a bariatric dietitian.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
That is amazing. I love it.
I love this freaking surgery because it inspires people to do like more things and do better.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
Well, and I feel like some people need this surgery or this community for a short amount of time of like they need that support right after, and then they kind of figure it out and they kind of move on with their life. And then there's other people like the four of us that are like, we're going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So just get used to it. We're going to be 80, still doing Instagram reels. Like,
I had my sleep surgery in 2020. But it helps keep the weight off. You know, like I think like you're so right. I think a lot of people are super hyped in the beginning and they're like, they're in their sweet spot of the 18 months or whatever after surgery. They're like, okay, I got it. And then, I think when you communicate with people and when you're honest about regain and when you're honest about struggles or transfer addiction or anything, it's like that keeps you in check even when things are not going in the direction you had hoped.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Because if you turn a
people
blind
that
eye,
are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually I've been really open about the fact that I gained weight, but it was like really hard for me some days to be on Instagram, and I felt myself kind of pulling away because I didn't want to see everybody else. Like, I think I was fine with me being like wallowing at that point. And so if I watched other people and became inspired by them, then it was going to move me out of that comfort spot that I was in. And I was actually driving over here, and I got over here and I was like, Mel, I figured it out. I was like, I've been slowly pulling, like not being so active only because I didn't want to face the reality that I wasn't doing everything in my power.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I completely like, if I'm on it every day and I'm looking at everybody's stuff and I'm doing stories and I'm like, you know, I'm doing all my stuff, I'm so much more in it because I know that I'm being honest, because I'm not going to go on to a story and be like, yeah, I'm still 140 pounds. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Not girl.
No. Right.
Well, and that was interesting because I noticed it. And I was like, hey, she's kind of fallen back into where, like, remember when we would be like, hey, if you eat sugar, it's going to hurt your autoimmune.
Yeah.
It felt like that. And I was like, how do I say it? How do I be like, hey girl, I feel like you're letting yourself just like on purpose.
You say, bitch, get your shit together.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
I'm allowed
a
to
little
say
fire
it.
under the ass.
Yeah, because I feel like there's sometimes where you just get so comfortable, and I'm talking about like before I got kind of like re-inspired. And then also even before surgery, I was so like comfortable being in my uncomfortableness that it was hard to take a step in any direction. That it felt like that I was safe whether I was unhealthy or not. Like I knew what to expect.
Well, you knew that, you know that feeling. So you're like, okay, I am comfortable because I know what this feeling is and how it works. But if you like move out of that, it's a little scary.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
It's like safe, and it's like comfort.
And you
food.
have you have like this control over it because, you know, you control it.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you're just like, I have so much power in this little space and it's safe and we're good. And then when you try to, you know.
Yeah. And it's scary. It's scary to push yourself past like where you're comfortable, whether that's calling a surgeon or going back to the gym or, whatever you're doing. It's scary and it's nerve wracking. And you're like, well, what if I fuck this up? What if I'm not ready? What if somebody laughs at me? Or all of those random thoughts that half the time aren't even going to happen.
Right.
Like, it's never as bad as you imagine it. And so it's just taking baby steps of like, last Saturday I was driving over here and I was like, okay, I'm going to stop and I'm going to sign up for the gym. It wasn't, I'm going to sign up and I'm going to go right then. And I'm going to, it was like, okay, I'm going to get it. Okay. Monday, I'm going to the gym. And then I went today. And then I was like, okay, I feel like a trainer would be a good step. So then I did that. So it's like, my all or nothing personality was fighting against that with everything in me. Like, I wanted to jump in full force, but I was like, slow your roll, think each step through, and then move on to the next. So,
and progress is progress, no matter how small.
Progress, not perfection.
Really, I mean, you're building yourself back up to, your goals and where you want to be and how you envision, your life.
Exactly.
And any progress is progress. And you should be proud of it,
It's sometimes hard to be proud of yourself.
It really is.
It's very hard.
It's really, really hard.
Especially when we are so critical of ourselves because we already came from a place where we were so critical of ourselves. And now we're like in these new versions and we're like, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but you want to feel your best. You know what I mean? All the time, but that's not always the reality. You know?
Right. Yeah. You think that like, you're going to have the surgery and it's going to solve all of your problems.
All the problems.
Like even world peace, like it's going to solve it. And that's not accurate. It's not going to solve everything. You have to do your own mental health work. You have to do your food addiction work. You have to do work to make it turn into a better life. You can't just expect it to do it for you. It's not the easy button.
You got to dig deep, address those issues and, say, okay, how can I redirect this? Like I know a lot of my stuff with eating was, I really just figured this out within this past year was I had a lot of childhood trauma.
Okay.
With my parents when they got divorced and my parents, my mom would let me eat whatever I want, but I was an obese kid and my dad would make me eat like plain chicken and like corn. But he would leave me alone because he had to go to work. And then I would eat like a whole sleeve of like Chips Ahoy cookies. And it was like bad, and then when you get older and food was a control thing. I was like, okay, nobody's going to tell me that I can't have X, Y, and Z. I can't have this burger from McDonald's. I can't have this milkshake. And then that's obviously how, you realize like, okay, well, this is where it stemmed from. This is why I had issues with food, and I just wanted it because people would either take it away from me or deny it, or they would give me too much, and that was not healthy either. Well, both were, it was not healthy.
Yeah. And we just continue that by doing restriction diets.
Same cycle.
It's not somebody else telling us we can't have it. We're telling ourselves that we can't have it, which only makes us want it more. And, that whole thing that you said in the beginning, Joelle, of you restricted yourself. It was a starvation diet. But at the end of it, you were already planning what you were going to eat. So you already knew that you were going to binge. And which is crazy to me because this just popped in my head. The fact that you don't even realize it's a binge.
No, like you don't.
It's a reward.
Like,
it's a reward in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Which defeats the whole fucking thing. It's the cycle.
Yeah,
right. Because we've all been there. Yeah,
I have never thought of the fact that it is a binge.
Yeah, 100% is a binge, and we're planning it.
We're legit planning our own.
You're like, I'm going to have this and this and this, and I'm going to have it all because I was restricted for so long.
And what's interesting
is I did that multiple times.
Yeah.
Every time.
That was my go-to diet because it was the only thing that I could lose weight. Keto, all that stuff didn't work for me. So if I needed to lose weight, I could do this 500 calorie a day diet, and I knew it. It was hardcore, but I was like, I knew that I would lose weight on this, and then like you said, I would be on Pinterest looking at food.
Yep.
They're like, okay, I'm going to have this.
And society kind of makes it okay because they get it, like, even for, there's like food challenges, like how much they can fit in their fucking stomach. And like sometimes when you have like a contest, the food is a reward. So it's really hard to like not be like, okay, we want all of these things because they all taste good. But it's like, I don't need all of these things in one sitting.
Well, I remember
that's the part.
Yeah, we've talked about the whole Olive Garden all you can eat thing that they do every year. And I remember being so proud of the fact that I could eat 3 bowls of pasta.
Yeah, but like crazy. Very excited. We're telling people.
Yeah, I am sharing this information with
I got my money's worth.
Yeah, I got 3 bowls plus I took 1 for home. No,
and a dessert.
Yeah, and a dessert plus breadsticks and a salad. I'm the boss of Olive Garden. No. Put the fork down and step away. Like you do
walk
not
away. Walk away.
Well, and I think back to there's an Ellen DeGeneres stand-up that she actually goes and says, like, with buffets, she goes, you know, we go to these buffets and they say, all you can eat all you can. And she's like, we shouldn't be eating all we can eat. Like, we should not be doing this.
Yeah.
And it's true.
That too.
Yeah. Like, they market that you can eat whatever you want. And it's like, but we shouldn't be doing that. Like, you shouldn't be having to roll yourself out of a restaurant.
Or like feeling so bloated. You're like, this hurts.
Yeah. Like I think there was a few times where I felt like you could just like tip me over and just like roll me out because I had eaten so much. And then you're miserable.
That's one of my corny jokes. Like when people at the restaurant, they're like, oh, I'm so full. I'm like, haha, I got stretchers in the back because like our portions, like we're huge. We're an American Grill. Like we've got big burgers and we got big everything, you know what I mean? And I'm always like, yeah, I got stretchers in the back. Just roll you out of here.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness. Can I actually ask a random question? Because we're all in different post-op like time periods. Do you guys still ever struggle with closet eating? Because that was one of my, like, similarly to Joelle, like my dad like watched everything I ate, so it would make me eat privately, so I wouldn't get like in trouble for eating. So I wonder, like, even though we have little stomachs, and I know, Joelle, you're still like in the process of losing, so I'm sure that you haven't experienced this quite yet, but just like, I don't know. I still have to stop myself from doing that. And even if it's a small portion, it's like, why am I like ashamed of eating it? Like, even in front of my fiance who couldn't care less.
I'll give you one. Yes, 100%.
And yes, for me also.
I've done it to where even when my kid walks up and I'm like, what are you doing up here? Get out. Like, I was just like, I panicked. I was like,
like anger came out.
Yeah. I was like, get away from me. Like, I didn't want him to know that like I would like had a cookie in my room that was just for me for late. Like, it was like such a psychological thing. I was like, nope, I don't need him to know. Get out of here. He's like, what is wrong with mom? Like,
okay, listen though. Kids steal our food.
That's true. They do. And I knew that is, there was like maybe 5% of that was that too. Because I'm like, he's going to ask for one.
Panic. My cookie.
Yeah. But it was like a panic mode because I was hiding it. That was the deal. And like, even with air coming in, I shouldn't be hiding food.
No.
You know? And I felt it immediately. I was like, can't do that. No, that's a no. We can't do this.
Well, I kind of got on this routine of when I was living alone for the first time in my entire adult life, because I grew up with my mom and my 4 sisters, and I always had roommates. And then as soon as I was done with roommates, I got married, and I never lived alone.
Yeah, never by yourself.
And so I was in this spot where I lived alone, and I found myself getting up in the middle of the night. And that's where my night eating started, because it was like nobody was there. Yeah. So I could eat whatever I wanted because there was I didn't have anybody looking over my shoulder of like, well, what are you eating? Why are you eating that? And so I kind of like, when Zach and I first got together, he is they keep sweets in their house because none of them could care less. Like,
which is
they don't care that it's there.
I know.
Everyone's different. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, there's Reese's in the cupboard. Like, and why is it not gone?
Yeah.
And right. I'm like, what is wrong with your family? But like they can just leave it and it's totally fine. They finally cleared it all out for me because they're very sweet, and they hid it from me because I was like, no, I'm going to eat it, because I would wait for him to go to sleep, because he gets up at 2:30 in the morning. So he goes to sleep really early, and I would stay up and watch TV or whatever. And I would find myself going out to the pantry and like putting some in my robe and walking back to his room.
Done that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so I would be like sitting there like all quiet, like opening these Reese's.
Yes.
And he caught me one time and I was like, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm eating some Reese's. Like, and he's like, and then after that, I was like, oh, yeah, I felt totally defensive.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, why are you questioning me?
You were
Don't
taught.
tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And
No,
it was like,
you know what I mean?
yeah, no, like I'm allowed to have a Reese's. If I want to have one every night at bedtime, I'm allowed to do that.
Yep.
Am I allowed to have 8 over the course of an evening? No, that's not.
Wait, I have to ask though, have you tried the 0 sugar Reese's?
I have
No.
not.
Yes.
Are they good?
Okay, they taste like the real fucking thing.
Oh,
Okay. You
Pretty
get 3 of
close.
them. I think they do. I mean, it might be because I haven't had any like.
You haven't
I had
introduced
any
the other.
sugar.
You're on
I
point.
have-
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I'm like, this tastes just like it.
yeah.
And you get 3 little cups. Actually, for my birthday this past year, I put a candle in one because I loved it so much. Because I didn't want
so
cake.
cute.
Oh,
I didn't want cake. My mom was like, I gotta get you a cake. I was like, I don't want a
You're like,
fucking
no.
cake. I'm not gonna eat the cake. Like I was still so new. Like I was, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
And I put a little candle in the 0 sugars, but they hit the spot. I think
That's
they do.
awesome.
And even the 0 sugar York peppermint patties. Speaking of hiding, I hid because my husband eats them on me because he does keto. So I hide food because I want the snack.
Because you want it for later.
I want it for later. If I go, to
I totally get that.
They're going to be gone, and Evan's going to eat them. And I was like,
Oh, yeah. We have a cupboard that we have to put some stuff in so that way Dylan doesn't get to it. But really, it's because we're like,
We want this for us.
It's
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's an us treat.
I
Yeah.
totally understand that. Like, no, I wish the girls would. I mean, the girls don't even care either. Like, they don't care what's out there. They like eat their dinner and then they go to their rooms. I mean, they're teenagers. They're 13 and 16. They don't want to like hang out for the most part.
yeah, they're like, ew.
Yeah.
People.
So it's like we're alone most of the time. Like even Zach makes homemade McFlurries because he's like, I'm not going to go spend money on it. So he'll make one for the both of us and then we just share it.
Nice.
And because he gets the like really crumbly Oreos, like apparently you can buy them in just packs.
Yeah.
And so he'll just like sprinkle it in like the vanilla ice cream and then like mush it up.
Yeah.
And the girls didn't even want that last night. I was like, what is wrong with you? Like your dad is legit making homemade McFlurries.
Oh my God, my lactose intolerant son would have jumped on that and just been in the bathroom for hours.
They don't care. They don't care. All they care about is Euphoria.
Fuck that show. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I can't get into that.
I haven't
one.
watched it yet, but like the teenagers are, and I hear it's very graphic. So
it's too much. Like I can handle a lot.
Me
I
too.
really can. Like there's not a lot that can offend me, and I'm pretty easy. But it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And when
Like,
Kelly said that, I was like,
it's
Kelly,
a lot, and I'm just like
we've watched True Blood and Game of Thrones. How is this
it's
too
different
much?
because they're teenagers. Like they're like
it's heavier than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just like it's a very like it's covering a lot of problems within like the world of that age group. Yeah.
Oh, that's
because
good.
you have social media, you have all access to all of these things
At all times. Yeah.
And we never had that growing up.
No.
So that's but anyways, it's that show is
it's a lot.
I
couldn't.
love
I couldn't.
No.
I was like, I'm good. I watched like Raising Dion. I was like, oh, let's watch superpowers. It's fine.
As I put on my Zootopia to go to bed, no big deal.
She does.
You guys need to get on the Housewives train. I'm obsessed with anything on Bravo. So if you love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
We need to have
yes.
a part 2 of this podcast then, because I could talk about that for days.
Right? Oh my gosh. I have watched all of them. Every single season, every single location. Like
I'm like that for the challenge. That's my
That's a good one.
reality show sin
choice.
or whatever. I don't know what you call
Guilty
it.
pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yes.
That is
I'm
the
not really-
Housewives because it's so stupid that it's
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Like I
It's so
just
good.
there's something about like them screaming at each other and I'm like, I don't have any part of that drama.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. It's relaxing.
It's more popcorn.
Well, yeah, because you're like, that's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right.
It's like, nope, you have other problems and I'm just going to watch you.
You have your own show about them. I'm going to enjoy the entertainment.
Exactly.
Well, speaking
100%.
of shows, like, how did you guys come about your bariatric podcast?
This is a great story.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Who's going to tell it?
You share it.
Well, from my perspective, I had listened to your podcast and then a few others, but I had noticed that there weren't a ton that covered bariatric surgery or just the trials and tribulations with it. People weren't really, they were talking about the beautiful side of it and not so much the things that people inevitably struggle with. And so that's why I connected so much with yours. And then, but with the others, it was kind of either too factual or just not relatable. I don't know. Yeah. So I was like, God, I really want to meet someone who is in this too and really wants to talk about it and be honest. And Joelle reached out to me one day on Instagram because she was really struggling with her pre-op just mindset and just the decision terrified to do this.
Yeah. Totally normal.
So she reached out to me for advice because she was still kind of in the beginning of going through her insurance and everything. And I was actually self-pay. So that was one place I couldn't really help with. But I will say that just her reaching out kind of reignited like my passion for this. Cause I was already, I think at that point, 2.5, maybe 2 years post-op.
Okay.
And so we just started going back and forth and connecting. And I was just kind of like, do you want to like record a podcast? And cause I already have this name picked out and I feel like we have a lot in common. We can kind of just reach a lot of people and help a lot of people who are confused and scared to do this. Cause I remember I was having like panic attacks leading up to mine. I didn't know if it was the right thing.
Yeah.
Same,
And it wasn't as normalized or talked about. No. And so I was like, let's make that normal for people who are considering this and not so scared. And like, we are approachable and we didn't lose all our weight. And now we didn't lose all our weight and then forget what it was like to be at square one. And I think, I think
a big deal.
Well, yeah, because sometimes when we hit our goal, it's like, oh, okay, well, fuck that, I'm done. It's like, no, you need to, like I said to Joelle, you need to never compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10. Right. And I think it's super important to when you're at your finish line, go back and help the person that's at the starting line and don't, you know, be humble about it. And I don't know, we just needed more of that. And I was like, let's do this. And she was so game. And
I was so ready.
Yay. That's awesome.
And she was actually, you guys were very much an inspiration. I think I reached out to both of you around the same time because I was like, literally guys in my brain, and I never talked about this much because like I'm a firm believer in you can have what you say. So I didn't want to give any life or any power to my words. I thought I was going to die. Like I was terrified. I was like, I'm going to do this selfish thing for myself. And it's not going to, I was scared, but I had reached out and Hailey, she knew exactly what to say. She gave me so much peace and so much comfort. And I was like, if you guys can do this and if she can do this, let's all do, let's help as many people as we can realize that it's not as scary as we think it is. Right. It's life-changing. It's an amazing opportunity if you are able to get it. And I just was like, yes, let's help as many people as we can.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
And just, run wild with it, you know?
Yeah, that's why we did. We were so happy to do the live surgeries and get them up on YouTube because we were like, come on, like it is not as scary as we envisioned them to be. I was expecting, blood splurting everywhere, Grey's Anatomy style and like, something. And it was like, no, this is like the cleanest I've ever seen the inside of a body.
Snip, snip, snip. We're good.
Yeah.
Pull, it's fine.
Staple, pull out of the belly button. We're done.
Exactly. So it's like, there's so much that we just build up in our head that we're like, okay, I'm going to die and this is going to be, awful. The recovery is going to be awful, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, the worst part about recovery is number one, the gas pains.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the worst.
Yes.
And then the trying to figure out how to eat. Like,
that's just hard.
The actual like incisions didn't hurt for me. Like I was cool.
I had minimal incision pain. Like the main one where like they pull your stomach out, that one bothered me for a little while.
Fair.
But it like it never like stopped me from being able to like live my life. Like I had surgery on Wednesday. I was like driving by Monday, like living my life. Like I'm a mom. Like my husband, he took the weekend off. Like I love him. He was great, but I was like, I got shit to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I got to take my kid here and we got to go to school. And, you know, I had some painful moments, but you know, the recovery it's quick. It's so quick so and you fast. Don't realize it when you're in it. Yeah. It's so quick. Yeah. And then you're like, all of a sudden you wake up one day, you're like, I'm 20 pounds down and I have no pain and I'm feeling really fucking good.
Exactly.
You're just like, okay, like this is okay. I'm about this right now.
I can do this. Yeah. And that's, I think, where the fire kind of gets under you is like you start 100%. Seeing the weight come off and then you're like, okay, what I'm doing is working. Like I'm feeling really good. And some people are exhausted for a long period of time after. And that's totally normal too. Yeah. But I think like once you start seeing it and you know, that feeling of like, I'm doing really good. Yeah. You're like, okay, let's just keep going. Let's just let's get this going because I want to do it all and I want to live my life because I think in the back of all of our brains, and I don't know if you guys felt like this, but you're like, this isn't going to work for me.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes. Or the fear of it. Yeah. Because nothing else
everything.
Did.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So like, you're like, I know you say it's going to work, but really, is it? Like,
is it really? No, my body is not gonna. It's not gonna accept it.
Yeah. Like we're the special one.
Yeah. And I was one of the lucky few that I lost consistently over every single week. Like I never really had a stall. I never had a stall. And I never experienced that. No. But it was because I was so fired up about it. And every week it was like, okay, this is working. It's still working. Cool. Okay. Let's just continue to do the exact same things as last week.
Yeah. Just don't change it. Don't change the channel. We're doing this.
Don't mess with the bear. Like, let's just go. Let's just do the same thing. So I ate the same foods. I did the same workouts. Like I was very I did not want to mess up any progress.
Yeah. And when people say like, same way, when people say their whole like, I can never eat the same thing over and over again. It's like, yes, you can. Because once you get that fire underneath you, like Kelly's saying, of like, oh, hey, this is working. You go, I'm not changing shit.
Yeah.
Because this
you're like, it's working.
It's working.
Yeah. This food is magic. I figured the formula out.
Yeah. Like, it took me 6 months, but I'm here and we got it. We're going all fours. Yep. And I will drink this protein shake for 2 years straight.
Yes.
Because I've done it.
Yeah. We, you know, but I wish like I knew about better products. Because speaking of protein, like I wish back then I knew about freaking Devotion. Because I would have actually enjoyed my protein shakes.
Oh, yeah.
Which... we had an episode a couple weeks ago drop, like you just had surgery, now what? And I asked Melanie what the product would be that she would wish she knew back then. And mine, of course, was Hydrate because I love this bottle more than anyone should love a bottle ever. But like Devotion's up there too, because it's like, I wish that I'd known that I could cook and like make all of these things.
Yeah, you can do so many things.
Many things. And I was like, I didn't know you can make a protein waffle. I didn't know that you could just like make a pudding. Like I didn't know these things. And I'm like,
you can make garlic bread. Tanya made us garlic bread. It was delicious.
I think I heard about this.
It was so fucking good. Like it's just,
oh my God.
I mean, I just wish Dana would have thought of the idea before I had surgery because she wasn't around when I had surgery.
It was not like normal, which is why we also started doing the reviews was because we were like, we don't know any of this food. Like this was not like normally talked about. And so we were like, okay, what can we try? I mean, we've spit out numerous amounts.
And we're gonna do that again. Food. I want to do the little like a rush through those again. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
different ones and compete and stuff.
Oh yeah, when we did the protein bar madness.
Yeah, I want to do that again.
Built bars forever. The coconut almond.
Thank you. That's my favorite.
No, Cherry Garcia. Are you guys?
Cool? I haven't tried that.
I'm a coconut Cherry Garcia. Right. There was something about it. I just like.
I don't know. Didn't vibe.
Yeah, no, not with me.
One.
I like the puff bars.
The strawberry cheesecake.
Strawberry cheesecake is really good.
It's fucking bomb.
Yes.
But my jam is the coconut brownie, actually. So
yeah, with the brownie
Is
chunks
that,
on
it
top.
might be called that.
that's what mine is.
Yeah.
So
No, I love the lemon cheesecake puff.
yeah.
It is my favorite, hands down.
Really?
I just
I
ordered
love
like
lemon
5
desserts.
boxes of it. I'm not even joking. I had to have that and then the ruby red puff
Yep.
because some of the Built Bars sometimes are a little too tough for me. And so I feel like
Hard
I'm
to chew.
chewing. Yeah, chewing and chewing and chewing. And the puffs aren't. It's a blessing and a curse because you take a while.
It's like a marshmallow on the inside, right?
Yeah. So it's got like a coating on the outside and then the marshmallows flavored on the inside. And
Oh, that sounds good.
It's
I'm
good.
going to try that.
It's good.
really, girl.
I just really
If you
enjoy
like
chewing.
lemon or cheesecake, just do it.
I
I
Just
will
do
put them
it.
together.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, guys, I think we are out of time tonight.
Yeah.
But this has been a
Yes.
blast. This
Yeah.
has been
This
so
was
much
awesome.
fun.
We're gonna have to do a
This
part
has
2.
been.
We'll have to do a part
Yes,
2. We should do
definitely.
a live together. That would be
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, let's do a
That
live.
would be a blast.
Yeah.
We haven't done a live with Joelle since you and Tara were on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
been a while.
we will have to do
I'm
that.
game.
Yeah.
I'm game.
Joelle's like, whatever you need, I'm here.
Well,
Well, we're there.
Thursdays.
I literally, I adore you guys.
Aw, thank you.
You have inspired so much, and you got me through things that I never thought I was going to get through.
Oh, good.
And I'm thankful for you, and I love you, and I'm just
Aww.
Oh,
is
that
great.
means the
This is
world
great.
because that just means that like our mission is working. It's really working.
Yes.
We just want to
So.
help everybody and we just
Yeah.
want to be a constant source of support
Mhm.
and not only support, but like the realness of that support of
Yeah.
saying like, if you're telling us something that you probably shouldn't be doing, we're going to tell you. We're not
Right.
just going to be like, oh yeah, if that's working for you, then just go for it. No,
yeah.
like it's just
Okay,
not.
we might want to
no.
redirect this. We might want to try, you might
Yes.
not
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yes. And, not every day is rainbows and sunshine. And
Nope.
I like that you
Mhm.
guys feel that with us
Yeah.
because that's one thing that we wanted to showcase was the realness of it. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not everybody has the perfect life, the perfect, it doesn't
Right.
work like
It
that.
doesn't exist. They're just
people don't relate to perfect.
no.
Right.
They don't. Once they think you're perfect, they're like, well, I can never be on
They'll
their
cower
level.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they'll
don't
be
wanna
like, I don't
listen to you.
want, let me go find someone that's on my, you always want to be relatable and honest and true to
Yeah.
every bit of it.
Because
That's
shit
what-
sucks, man. Some days it's fucking sucks.
Yeah, it
It
does.
do.
There's some days where it's just like, I'm angry. I don't know why I'm angry. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. You need to back up. Like, there's some days that it's just not a good day. But, and that doesn't mean I'm not grateful for the journey that I went down because I am extremely grateful. But it's not all like happy days now. Like,
Yeah, it's not all rainbows and sunshine all the time.
I mean, you're still going to battle with your food addiction. You're still going to battle with your mental health. It doesn't erase all of those years of, like Joelle was saying with all that trauma, and Hailey, you had it too. Like having the food taken away from you, we compensated for that happening. And so I think it's really good that all 4 of us are on a mission to be like, this isn't normal. Let's talk about it and let's figure it out together and make this a very healthy and accessible place on the internet.
And I want it to just be an environment where you can just come to and ask questions and not feel scared to ask. Because that's a deal. Is like
no judgment.
Yeah, because as much as like teachers tell you like, hey, ask all the questions, someone in the room probably has the same question. That's really true. It's so fucking true.
Right.
And if we can cultivate an environment for people to just come to and ask questions where there's like no judgment, where it's like, hell yeah. What's your question? Oh, we got you.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to have like all these questionings of like why you're asking me this question. I'm just going to answer your question.
Right.
Because it brings down that
this
anxiety.
is what I experienced, and then say, how can we,
Yeah. I had to tell one of our benchies, I'm like, girl, you need to be listening to your doctor.
Yeah.
Straight up told her in our support group, and I love her to death. But we have to be like, hey, you're a little like, she was 6 months out, and she's like experimenting with carbonation. And I was like, hey, like there are some reasons why that they want us to wait a year. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you should really just listen to what your doctor says. And she's like, you know what, Mel, you're right. Like I should be listening to my surgeon.
Because at the end of the day, we all know what we're doing wrong.
Yeah. So I'm like,
we just don't want to listen to it to ourselves. And so if
somebody, we want to be the exception.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like there's a reason why those rules are in place, and because they don't want you to fail, so they're not going to say don't drink carbonation for a year and be like, they're not laughing behind you. Like they want you to succeed as much as you want to succeed. So yeah, I think that's one thing, is that some people don't feel comfortable going to their surgeon asking, but they feel comfortable going to people like you guys and us to ask those questions that need to be asked. Yeah. So,
which I think love. It's great that we're here. Keep asking.
Yes. Keep asking.
Keep asking. Keep reaching out. Right. You know where we are, you know?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to, you can go over to oursleeplifepodcast.com, and we have a whole section where you can just ask us questions.
Yes.
And you know what? If that builds up enough, we can do an episode of just you guys asking us questions.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be a freaking blast.
Yeah. Just Q&A. People love that. And they love the real time stuff too. And they're like, I can jump on and just be like,
Yep. You know? I love the lives for that. We didn't do it for so long. It was a couple months because we were too damn busy.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mel,
I
miss it. I miss it so much. We need to go back. And she's like, I completely agree. I'm like, I just miss that interaction and like being able to talk to all of our people. Like, because they're our family.
They are. And like you get the faces with the names, and you start relating more, and you were like remembering like, oh, they have these many kids, and you start like making the whole person, and you get more connection when we do those.
You build lasting relationships and friendships that will help continue to support you throughout whatever part of journey you're on.
Yeah.
I can speak.
You're good.
It's late.
We
all understand.
And if you want to join our support group that we keep talking about, they need to go to patreon.com/OSLP and pick the tier $7 or higher.
And then don't forget to go over to YouTube to watch this and other videos just like it. Subscribe, hit the little bell.
That's right.
And we just want to thank Joelle and Hailey for coming on and spending time with us. And we will definitely be doing a part 2 very soon.
That's right. Yay. All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.